Oh, now we WWE now. So episode 205 of the Pour Horsemen.
That's it?
Yeah, 205. We finally made it to having a special guest on that I've probably requested for a while.
Years.
I asked like last year. I was like, yo, I think I met when did y'all open Lily's Closet?
A year and 2 years ago now.
That's when I was like, I want to interview people in here. We started with Lily.
Yeah.
And then now we got, well, let's get our introductions first. My bad. KC got gout going on right now. Put the camera on KC. He got a bout with gout right now. His big toe is inflamed. So y'all pray for him. Casey, can you let people know what's going on with you, brother? Why you looking at me like that? What's going on? Come on, man. We are an honest podcast. Let them know, man. Let them know.
My big toe hurts. I don't know if it's gout. I don't know what this brother's talking about. But I feel like I just sprained it. It's all good though. But it's about as crooked as his hat. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I just been working out. That's what happens when you do hard work.
Brother Phil, how you been doing? You just celebrated a birthday?
Yeah, I celebrated a birthday.
47.
True.
Flies 47-year-old ever.
Celebrated a birthday, had a good time. Yeah, that's it, man. I had a good time.
You still don't play defense?
Yeah, I don't play no D, baby. I don't play no D.
You never rip somebody straight up?
Huh?
You never rip somebody straight up?
I ain't got time for it. Just give me the ball. I'ma score it. And that's what we go leave.
You never got ripped and then went and go get the block?
I ain't got time for all that, brother. You ripped me, you got it.
James Harden and going with the play?
Yeah, man, just keep playing, folks.
And JC, what's been going on with you muscles?
Man, shit.
Creatine
Work.
pecs.
Work.
We have a guest. We do need to be.
Yeah, for sure.
We do need to tone it down just slightly. We do have a guest.
Yeah, but work. Yes.
And our special guest. So
Hold on, what's been going on with you, player?
Life.
We don't care.
Yeah, we
don't
I
care.
never give my life because I'm
hat.
boring. Look at my hat. Look at my golf. Look at my golf clothes that I got. I just came from the golf course. I shot 82.
Like a narc.
I shot 82, which I'm mad. I shot 44-38. It hurt. I should have broke 80, but I didn't.
So hold on, what did Tiger Woods turn down money
Man, we
for?
don't care.
Oh,
We're going to our guest. All right. Now we put some stuff on our teleprompter here, but I don't think it would be appropriate if we gave the introduction.
No.
So, Sydney, would you like to introduce yourself to our audience, please?
Sure. What's up, y'all? My name is Sydney. I am 25. I am a plus size model, curve model, influencer, professional dancer. I dance with Lizzo and have done a few things with Queen Latifah. I was just on her new show. So I'm just living life, telling my story through social media and the different campaigns that I've been doing and just living my best life.
Now,
so.
Sydney, do you have Queen Latifah's number? Because I know LP is interested.
All right, look. When you said Queen Latifah, I already kind of perked up.
I might be able to connect that.
Go ahead, go.
Now, Sydney, you're 25.
Yeah.
I just want to know if you're going to catch this reference. Hey, yo, Sydney, talk to me, talk to me, talk to me, baby.
She won't. She won't. She won't.
No.
And her name was Stacey.
I do remember the Goofy movie.
And it was Stacey.
Oh yeah, because I was like, I remember being Sydney in that movie. That was my movie too.
Now we're gonna give him some grace because we know that gout does cause brain fog. So
what
we're
is
gonna
gout?
give him some grace because we know gout does cause brain fog.
What even is gout though? I thought it was like
it's
some
inflammation in the joints because of his poor diet.
Okay.
I don't have a poor diet. I'm actually been getting back in shape. So
What's it called when you can't use the restroom? I thought that was gout.
Incontinence.
I was thinking like GERD when they said gout, like stomach stuff. Like
Nah, you think about what?
GERD. Like I thought
she did not say
I don't know why
she did not.
So is gout the same thing as hemorrhoids?
No.
Come on,
Hold on. We have a guest here.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Hemorrhoids, just so, because we have to give appropriate medical advice to our community also. Hemorrhoids are where your intestines leak out of your rectum. Gout.
Constipation, right?
No, it's where your intestines.
I know, I'm just saying it.
You got more than you got problems if you got hemorrhoids.
I thought it formulates because you're like you constipated all the time.
You could be straining
all the time.
Yeah. But gout, what KC got is inflammation in the joint.
Y'all just messing with me.
Sorry,
All right, back to Sydney. Okay. Now, from the last few years that at least we've been seeing, you've done a lot of work. But let's talk about just your vision as a child.
Mm-hmm.
Like how you got to this place where you are now. Tell us about the beginning.
Yeah. So growing up, I've always been somebody that's super confident. I was raised by like 2 extremely supportive parents, and they basically told me like, whatever you want to do, like you got it. Just put in the work, put in the effort. No matter what you look like, no matter where you come from, it's going to be possible. So I was blessed enough to be raised with 2 supportive parents and in a supportive household. And so the weird thing about what I do now is growing up, I always wanted to do like behind the scenes work. Like I remember like in high school, I was always like doing music videos and like doing all the behind the scenes stuff. And so I guess it wasn't until college where I kind of like gained the confidence to like put myself in front of the camera and like start taking pictures of myself and like posting my stuff. But before that, it was all like, you know, the creative director route or wanting to do social media marketing. Like that whole thing was kind of the route that I wanted to go to. But yeah, I was like a cheerleader in high school. I was a dancer, and I never really I always wanted to do that growing up, but just knowing how the world was and like never seeing somebody that looked like me on stage doing those things, like I kind of was like, oh, I guess I'll just kind of like step to the back. But I started posting stuff on social media, and Fashionova, you know, was the first company to be like, hey, we love your style, we love your look, like work with us as an influencer. And from there it took off to modeling and now professional dancing. So it's been a journey, and I guess like I tell people all the time, like you're not born hating yourself, you're not born doubting your worth. It's when you go out into the real world where you start to question those things about yourself. And so yeah, that's kind of my story. Like I was like, you know, I'm confident, and then I started getting bullied in high school with being like the only plus size African American cheerleader, and then that's when I was like,
And where are you from originally?
The Woodlands.
The Woodlands.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
And people from, like, we talk Houston a lot.
yeah.
The Woodlands, I would say, is that Houston?
No,
it's far
not.
out.
Yeah.
It's still like
My homie
if you
Phil
were out
Mickle-
of town somewhere, you'd be like, I live in the Woodlands, like,
Mm-mm.
and you can kind of explain it like it's just outside of Houston. It's
Yeah,
like a
like
Sugar
people in
Land
the
or
Woodlands
whatever.
call it like a bubble. It's the bubble.
Yeah,
So
and because
separate of Houston.
because Conroe is Conroe.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Conroe is definitely not Houston.
That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying.
Nah, it's
So
just
yeah.
another. It's a whole.
But Woodlands is almost.
it's closer than
It's closer
before
than Conroe.
Yeah.
So it's just like it's still an
My boy Phil
extension.
Mickelson stay out there. You know, I holler at him from time to time.
Shit.
They've been trying to get that joke off like 3 minutes.
All right. So cheerleading.
hmm
How did that did that prepare you for being in front of the camera? Do you
I
feel
think-
like
Yeah, I think so. So like, I think I had around like 3,500 kids in my, maybe it was in my class. Like I went to a really big high school. I went to College Park High School.
Mm.
And
Man, we
so,
played y'all.
oh, what school did you go to?
Lamar Consolidated.
Okay,
Y'all
yeah.
beat us the year,
Of course
my
we
junior
did.
year.
Of course we did.
Stayed that year.
Oh, okay, but yeah, no, I don't know, you know,
Yeah.
but I was just on the field cheering. But yeah, I think cheerleading definitely helped, like preparing myself to be in front of the camera, because it's like, you know, knowing that I was different from everyone else, like I knew all eyes were always on me. So people were expecting me to like mess up, or people were always like watching me because I kind of stood out. So I kind of took that as like, okay, let me just show these people how to do it. Like I have these curves, I have all this, like I'm gonna show you that I could be the best. And so that's exactly what I did. And I think also too, like working behind the scenes and like, you know, like I said, like being a photographer and like making my own videos and stuff, like I know what looks good on camera. I know how to tell a story, and I know like poses and like different angles. So I think that also like contributed to like why I'm comfortable in front of the camera now. You know?
And you-
Even like decades before Beyonce put out this album, you was already category bad.
Yeah, I was that
Unique.
girl. Yeah.
you've been trying to get that?
Don't ever come for me. Don't ever come for me unless I sing for you.
You watch too much Real Housewives of everything. Like for real.
Straight up.
Okay. Now you've really accelerated probably these last 2 years.
Yeah. I think
Like these
so,
last
yeah.
2 years have really been where I've seen a lot of growth.
Mhm.
What was the moment where you were like, I may have figured this out?
I think when I was posted on the Shade Room, I like had posted a TikTok and it was basically, can y'all hear me? There we go.
Mhm.
I posted a TikTok and it was like, shout out to y'all that called me fat in high school and now I'm a plus size model. And it literally took off on TikTok, went viral on TikTok, went viral on Instagram, Twitter, like just
What did you
blowing
do on the
up.
video?
It was like a high school video of like me,
Oh, it
like
was
Friday
like a
Night Lights,
transitional
cheering,
thing.
yeah, and then it had like a transition to like me walking in a store with like my picture on the wall and like like working at Lily's
Shine on
and
'em.
like
Yeah.
so I was like, I'm just gonna can I curse
Shine
on
on 'em.
here?
Now, how
Like,
did you handle all that attention from Shade Room?
I am a hustler, so I knew right when I got posted on the Shade Room, like what's my next move? Like I have to figure out like how to keep this traction and how to keep these people, entertained and engaged with my socials. So while I was in the process of like taking all that in, obviously I got hate and stuff, but hate is just what fuels my
No doubt.
fire.
No
You
doubt.
know what I mean? Like, especially even back in high school, like all the bullies would say stuff and they'd be like, oh, Sydney's the only one that can't tumble. I went and took classes and the next week I was throwing my round off back handspring. Like fuel, that just always fuels my fire. But with, me being a hustler and like me saying, oh, what's next? It was really interesting when that happened because that's kind of, when everything catapulted for me. Like that's when I got signed as a model. That's when I started booking more shoots and booking more campaigns because all these brands were like, who is she? You know what I mean? So I took it as like, okay, this is my next move to just like push forward and keep grinding and keep up that main character energy that they love to see in that video. So from then I kept, making different videos and talking about my story. And, at that point I realized too, like, okay, this is cool. And like all of these like, campaigns and bookings and whatever is awesome. But when I checked my DMs, what really inspired me to keep going was all these younger girls that were in my DMs or like saying like, I never thought that I would see like somebody that looked like me, like in a campaign store, like doing these things, like, thank you. And that's really what like pushed me to like keep going.
So what was your next big opportunity after, Shade Room? You're doing your content. What was the next big after Fashionova?
Yeah.
After all that, what was the next big thing?
I think the next big thing for me after that was probably, I'm trying to think, that was like 2 years ago. I think really being signed to the agency that I'm in now, like it's very rare because even especially like plus size curve models, like somebody would see me and I'd go into an agency and automatically they'd be like, no,
And I apologize because I did not want to stop you.
No, you're good.
What determines plus size and curvy?
Yeah, so it's changing. Like when it first came out, like you see women like Ashley Graham, right? She was like the first like curve model, like plus size model to really like take the stage and for people to know what it is. But now it's become like honestly anybody, like, and that's why I think, the way that social media has been and all of these different girls like doing great things in the industry and in the world, like it's changing to now I go into agencies and people are like, oh, you're great. Like we've seen you before. Like you have a great look that we're wanting. So it's just changing. But originally it was like that tall, like Ashley Graham, like super tight skin. But
Because I think that was the industry perspective. Now it's the people's perspective.
Exactly.
So they're going off what the people are liking. And okay, you're just what we're looking for.
Yeah, because like
Instead of, 20 years ago, it was the standard for the industry, and whatever they put out, that's what they're pushing, and that's what they can manipulate people's mind with. But in the hood, or where we come from, you either thick, you know what I'm saying? We got categories of our own. You know what I'm saying?
We do make up our own categories.
That's what I'm saying.
LP asked that because he's trying to enter.
I definitely would
they have tall and handsome.
I would like to be Fashionova. I would like to be Fashionova thick models.
Big and tall.
Someone find me a Fashionova deal. Dadon, can you facilitate that for me, please?
I cannot.
Put him in some Lily's closet.
Put me in some Lily's closet right now. I want to be wearing.
Our stuff don't fit you, brother.
He's gonna be dressed like Uncle Clifford for real.
Put me in some Lily's closet right now. I'm 6'3". Today 268.
Oh my
I'm ready.
God.
You talk about me having gout.
I don't have gout though.
Brother, you may have diabetes.
No, I don't. We've talked about my lab work on this episodes before. We've talked about it. Back to our guest though.
Let's get back to
Okay, so you got with the agency. All right. So how long did it take for you to like really for them to put you on to like shoots and stuff of that?
Yeah. So the way agencies work is you're like required to go and take a test shoot. So you basically fly out, do your test shoot to build your portfolio. But I think it only took me like 2 weeks after being
Congratulations.
signed
That's dope.
because like social media, I tell people all the time now, like social media is like your portfolio. Like anything that you have on social media, like you can go to a company and just say, hey, this is who I am, and they'll see all the work that you've done, and then they're like, oh, like we want to book you. So it only took me like 2 weeks even before doing my test shoot to start getting booked. And like I think after a month, like I booked NYX Cosmetics, which is like a huge like makeup company. Like my pictures in a huge display in New York. Like you go to any store now, you still see it. So it didn't take too much time for me to be signed, or to be, working after being signed. But that's why I just keep saying, like, no matter what, like if anybody watching this, male, female, whoever you are, like want to get into modeling, like start with your social media. Like that is the goal nowadays. Like people don't care about your modeling book. It's really just about like what you can bring to the table and your personality. Because kind of like what you were saying, like there's always been this standard of like what a model should be. Like you go to the mall now and you look at their ads, it's all of these TikTokers. Like it's really all of these like social media influencers, and it's because that's what the people want to see. Just like you said, you're able to resonate with that person more than just a random like skinny body that you see on a billboard. So
let me ask you this. So with that, because my wife is an influencer, and Nike had hit me up one time and I missed a message where they wanted to post my stuff, and she absolutely hates it because they'll post it and I won't get paid for it. Now people like that, of course, because I like sneakers a lot. But when you talk about before the agency came, like Fashionova hit you up, how were you protecting yourself from like giving away your likeness before, getting any wages from it?
Yeah, so when I first started working with Fashionova, I only had about like 5,000, 6,000 followers at the time, but I kind of knew where it would go. So I was okay with that. I was like, Fashionova has 1 million+ followers. Like if other brands see, because again, with being a photographer, I knew I was making their product look good. You know what I mean? I know you're probably making their shoes look good, and that's why they reached out to you. So I was like, okay, if they post me on their page and they have millions of followers, who's going to see that and who's going to be directed to my page? And then that could, over time, they post you, you gain that following, and then you just start saying, oh, well, now I'm only doing paid collabs because, you're at that point. So I think sometimes you got to take that risk in the beginning and just understand, like, in the long run, like, it's really going to pay off. Because I didn't start making money from social media until maybe like 4 or 5 months into it. I worked with like Fashionova, and then like Rue 21, a few other brands. And at that point, I didn't even really know I was supposed to be paid for it. So I was just kind of like, oh, this is fun. Like I'm getting followers. And then, after over time, you're like, oh shoot, like this is a full-time job. Like I was literally skipping class in college to create content for Fashionova. And but you sometimes in the beginning just got to take that risk and understand like where it's going to take you in the future.
So, Sid, now I got a question for you. Your confidence and your energy, right, is two things that sticks out to me. How? Because, going through high school, you said you was getting bullied, if I'm not mistaken. When most of the time when a lot of kids get bullied, it turns into something that sticks with them for a long time. How were you able to turn that into staying positive? And then when you I've been knowing you for a couple of years now since you've been working, but your energy is like magnetic.
It's infectious.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie. Even in here now, it is.
Yeah. These two are happy. You can't tell, but you're doing a great
we
job.
We just like each other.
But where did that come from, and how did you build that? from being bullied and stuff like that?
I honestly don't know. Like, you know, in high school, although I was bullied, I was always like somebody that was well liked as well. Just because, you know, again, with like the parents that raised me, like they were very positive, and that just kind of like rubbed off on me. But I've also experienced a lot of loss in my life, and that's allowed me to realize like how short life is. And it's like, you know, why allow other people's outside opinions to like affect the way that I live my life? You know what I mean? Like experiencing experiencing loss and like going through those things, and like, you know, it's my life. And like I kind of realized at a young age with experiencing that, like I just got to live my life fully. And like, you know, no matter what, like that's their opinion. It has nothing to do with me. People are calling me fat every day. People are calling me whatever, all these names. Like that's their perspective. I know who I am as a person. I know what I bring to the world, and that's just how I'm going to live my life.
Told you, JC.
So.
Tired of you talking about me because you got muscles and I don't.
I say, goddamn, I want to that comment.
All right, so we definitely want to give some tips to young influencers. But first, let's talk about some of your credits. Okay. You did the Pretty Little Thing in Miami.
Yes.
Tell us about that, because we've done some work with a fashion show out of Atlanta.
Okay.
And I know how difficult it is to get into fashion shows, first off.
Yes.
And then two, to be featured in the fashion show. Tell us about how that went.
Yeah, so I just did Miami Swim Week with Pretty Little Thing for my second year. So I did it last year and this year. And like getting in, again, it just kind of all goes back to social media. Like what's really beautiful about the way that the industry is changing is people, like we were just talking about, they don't just want like standard models. They want people that have an impact and like have made an impact on the world. So for example, Pretty Little Thing had somebody with like a prosthetic leg, and they had someone that had vitiligo, and you know, they had like bigger bodies, they had Jada, and they just had like all of these different types of people. So I think getting in, they like, you know, have liked my posts, and it was weird because the first year I never worked with them as an influencer. Like they just kind of like hit me up and they were like, we love what you stand for. We love what you do. We want to have you a part of our show. So yeah, just getting in, it was basically, again, just like on social media, just being myself and like owning who I am, and it attracted to what they're wanting. And what I really appreciate about these brands lately is it's like, it's not, you know, a lot of times you think like, oh, they're just doing this because everybody else is doing it, or they're doing it because it's like, oh, this is what the world has come to, and it's like, this is all the changes. In reality, it's like, this is really what these brands are representing. And so any of those brands that, you know, resonate with that, like I want to be a part of it. So just being myself is how I got booked. And like I feel like that's how it's been lately. It's just like being Sydney. Like
impressive, man.
Yeah, that's dope. Essence Magazine, you had a full write-up. Like really the same story that you're kind of telling now, but in a written format. Tell us how that came about.
Social media.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. Like I feel like every booking I've gotten has been through social media, but I think too, I was doing a panel that was like through a company, and they were talking about like, how do you get like bikini body ready and stuff like that. And I was just basically like, that's my whole thing. Like if you go on my Instagram, I'm in a string bikini like every single day.
You are.
All day. Yeah. Like that is my thing. Like that's what I love to like, literally, if I feel bad about myself, I throw on a string bikini. But yeah, like they kind of just hit me up and they were like, we noticed you're always in a string bikini. Like, can you help these girls that are like struggling with body image, like feel comfortable like in a bikini body? So they just reached out to me, and yeah. And I also think too, with that Shade Room post, like I know Essence had reposted it at the time.
Oh wow.
As well.
Okay.
So it kind of, you know, connected.
See, you helping so many women with their
it's that gout, bro. It's that gout, man. Gout make you sneeze too, bro. Like,
hopefully they don't have me on Pretty Little Things for gout.
I hope they do. I hope that gout and mesothelioma, they reach out to you, both of them, so you can
spell it.
No, but
mesothelioma, mesothememolia, mesothelioma.
I don't even know if that's right.
Go ahead.
Sid, you helping so many women, you know what I'm saying? And that's powerful. When you get that feedback, how does it make you feel?
It makes me feel amazing. Like I think that's the biggest blessing that I get from what I do, because I sit back and like when I read those messages or comments, like I think back to like the younger Sydney, and I'm just like so happy that those girls are seeing the representation that I never saw growing up. And, you know, they're seeing like, oh, like this is normal. Or even at this time in the world, like those bullies like are looking and saying like kids that would have been bullies if they didn't really see it, they're like, oh, like this is normal, like this isn't weird, or this isn't like outlandish. Like I just saw a model walking on the runway with a body like that, so it's normal. So it's really rewarding to see those messages and know that
overall, when you're talking to these young ladies, what's your, in a few bullet points, if you will, like in general, what do you give them as feedback, like positive feedback?
Yeah, I just tell them the number one thing I tell them is live life as the main character. And that's basically like, you know, we watch these movies and we see main characters, they have this fun and exciting life where everything's happening, but they also come into contact with conflict. But at the end of the movie, they always seem to figure it out and come up on top. Right. So I tell them, you know, live life as the main character, live life fully, really put in the work to love yourself so that when you get all of that negative talk, it just goes in one ear and out the other because you personally know who you are. And I also say surround yourself with positive people that love you or love you just as much as they should love themselves. So, you know, that could be, you know, in real life, like hang out with people that are positive for you, or even on your social media, like follow people that make you feel good about yourself. Like growing up, I remember especially in college, I was following Jordan Woods at the time. She is so fine, but I just remember like I would follow her and she was super thick. Like she like kind of looked like me at a time. And then like all of a sudden, like she just got like super
she
skinny.
got real thin.
Like she got super thin. And I was like, this is somebody that I looked up to at the time. And I was like, oh my gosh, like, you know, she's hanging out with all these celebrities. She's doing all these brand deals and stuff. And then I like saw her and I was like, this does not make me feel that great. Like what happened? Turns out she ended up like doing surgeries and all that stuff. But I didn't know that at the time. And it made me question like, okay, I need to start working out. I need to like cut back on my eating and all those things. So at that time, I kind of realized like I need to follow people that make me feel good about myself and make me not question like my body image or my worth. So
with you talked about the bullies. Now with your social media, where it's at, do any of those bullies, you know, reach out or like, you know, tag you on a story like, hey, this is my homegirl from high school?
Oh my gosh, do y'all know like the amount of thank you. My Starbucks. The amount of guys, this is like my favorite thing. Like, you know how like especially in Texas, like homecoming dates, prom dates, like that thing is like huge. Like I remember there was a guy and I wanted to go to homecoming with him so bad. And I like kind of like hinted it to him. His friends were like, oh yes, and he wants to go to homecoming. And he was a football player and I was a cheerleader. So I was like, it'll be so cute. And he had like set something up where it was like he was like acting like he was gonna ask me, but like
people really did those?
It's huge. Like the whole
Freddie Prinze
that's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's
movie.
like a real I didn't know that really happened.
Oh my God. It's like a huge like thing, like proposal, like prom proposals, homecoming proposals. And he had like acted like he was gonna ask me. So I got all excited. He was telling his friends, oh, Sydney, so-and-so's gonna ask you to homecoming and prom, or to just to homecoming. It was homecoming at the time. And I was so excited, and like he came up and acted like he was gonna do it and completely like swerved.
Who is this? Because we need to find him. Where is
this? I don't like bro.
You want to know where he is right now? He's in my DMs. That's what I'm saying. Okay, but that's what.
Hey, look,
Mark ass nigga.
shit.
Hey, fuck you, Playboy.
Yeah, like we.
No, but that's like.
We still got beef with him though. We got beef with him though. We still do.
But it's like that's like the best thing ever. Is like when like these people that like thought I wasn't gonna be anything in high school, like they're like, hey, how's everything? Are you in Houston? Like I'm visiting. Let's hang out. I'm like, no, I gotta shoot. Like
fuck you, man.
I don't have time for that.
So let's talk about it. Would you consider this the most visible thing you've done, the Lizzo show?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay,
yeah.
so let's talk about that. Like, and really, what I want to know, because I've watched every episode from my wife and I. We watched it from the beginning. Like,
No, don't try to put your wife. Brother, you what?
that's what y'all get for trying to be rude to me.
You got gout.
So let me preface this. I rarely watch any reality TV ever.
Okay.
So my wife was watching the show, and I was like, "Yo, I'm about to watch this also," because I said, "I think I could know one of the people on the show."
Yeah.
Can you tell us, like, how did that come about? Because it seems super random. First off, like it really did. How did that go, and then how did the tour go? Let us know that.
So, about a year before she announced the show even coming out, that's when I was posted on the Shade Room. I had DM'd Lizzo that video from the Shade Room because she had already liked it, and I just I DM'd to her, and I was like, I just want to say thank you for allowing girls like me to be able to like know that this is possible and blah blah blah, that type of thing. And she responded, and she was like, I'm so proud of you, keep going. And I told her, I was like, if you're ever in Houston and you need a backup dancer, just hit me up, let me know. She's like, best believe I'll take you up on that. A year later, they announced the show. But a few weeks before that, somebody came in my DMs and they were like, hey, Lizzo has this new show. You know, we're really interested in you applying and sending everything in. So I was scouted on social media, but I really do think that conversation that Lizzo and I had, like in the DMs, kind of like,
Definitely.
Triggered them to like reach out to me. And so, I sent in my application. I kept manifesting. I told myself, and that's a huge thing that I believe in, is manifestation. I was like telling people, I was like, yeah, I'm, doing the show with Lizzo, even before I knew that it was happening. And so officially I got the call and they were like, Sydney, you're cast for Lizzo's show. And I went on the show a few months after that, and it was amazing, but it was also very hard.
Where did they have y'all at?
We were locked in. No, I'm just kidding.
Y'all were locked in.
We really were. Yeah.
It was not like real world.
No.
Y'all were not in it was almost like strange where they had.
Yeah. We were in it was a beautiful mansion in LA.
Okay.
So it was nice, but it was during COVID, and Lizzo's like a huge germaphobe.
Gotcha.
So she was like, the girls have to stay in the house, but we had little dance studios and stuff around the property of the house. But yeah, it was something that was very hard for me because I actually lost a lot of opportunities and brand deals being on that show. We couldn't have our phone, we couldn't call our family, our friends, we couldn't do any of that because they really wanted us to be fully immersed in that experience. And so I was supposed to walk in New York Fashion Week during that time, and I was just like, oh my gosh. But it was a really awesome opportunity. I learned a lot of things about myself on the show. There's things that I opened up about, and it was just really awesome. And so watching the show, I actually did not end up going on tour. And it's kind of like a blessing and a curse because, again, what I do now is really my passion and really what I love to do. And being on tour, I wouldn't be able to do that. But Lizzo's booked me for SNL and BET and her new music videos. So I'm kind of there. Whenever she needs me, she'll just call me and be like, hey, I need you for this. So.
Congratulations.
Cool.
Yeah.
Congratulations on that.
I want to go back to Essence real quick because I remember as a youngster, they used to have Jet Magazine, right? You remember Jet Magazine? They used to have Beauty of the Week. Was that
42?
Jet Beauty of the Week. Yeah, I remember that too.
Stuck together.
So I wonder, was yo, you crazy. So that article that they wrote on you, is that something that they do all the time? That write up highlighting or putting a spotlight on someone? Or was that the first with you?
I actually think I had two Essence, now thinking about it, two Essence features. The first one was just kind of it was during COVID, so it was what people a fashion type of thing. So I think they do that one all the time, but the second one that they did about the bikini body, I don't think they usually do those types of features, which I was super honored about to even be asked to do that. But yeah, I think that second one was just kind of understanding, and that's why I just really love what I do again too, and how the industry is changing is a few years ago, and even me growing up, like, you'd never flip through a magazine and see something to help somebody with their self-confidence when it comes to like a bigger body feeling accepted or good in a bikini. So yeah, that was like the first
Jet
time.
magazine helped me as a youngster.
So so shout out to Dalen Goff.
Hey,
One of my partners is the president of Jet magazine.
Okay.
Oh yeah,
Yeah. So I matter of fact, next time he's in H, I'm gonna try to get him on the pod.
yeah.
So shout out to Dalen. So he's the president and CEO of Jet magazine now. But let's give some people some advice.
Okay.
Because your story may be unique, but there are a lot of people who are attempting to do what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
So could you maybe give a couple words of advice for young creators, or maybe not even young, because I know there are people of all ages trying to get into the influencer and creator space. What would you say is impactful for people? What would they need to be doing to carry this through?
Yeah.
Shit, we need advice.
We give us advice.
Yeah,
also.
I mean, this is amazing what y'all are doing.
Thank you,
Like,
thank
y'all are
you.
thriving right here. So, but I would just really say, like, it's so easy to look at what everybody else is doing. That's not what these companies or like brands are really wanting to see for a young creator or any type of creator that's wanting to start. I remember when I first started with Fashionova, I didn't know what an influencer even was at the time. And I looked at their page and I saw all these like, you know, fake bodies and like living this luxurious lifestyle. And I was like, oh my gosh, I have to do that to be successful.
Yeah.
And I did it. I mean, I didn't do the fake body thing, but I like put on this persona as if like,
Yeah. Stop. Let her finish. Go
I
ahead.
put on this persona that like I lived this luxurious lifestyle when I was in reality like a struggling college student,
Yeah,
and it wasn't sustainable, and I was not happy at the end of the day. So I started to be myself, and that's really how I was able to get to where I am now. So, you know, that's my number one tip is just be yourself, like be 100% authentic, like speak your truth. And also like the way that the industry is now, like people love to see authenticity. So, you know, like just put out your stories, like use things that are trending, but make it your own type of thing. So like for the, there's like all these challenges, like use those challenges, use those trending sounds, but make your own little twist on it to make.
You do that a lot on TikTok.
I do.
Yeah. So TikTok is your biggest platform right now, right?
Yeah. I have a video that went viral 2 days ago. It's at like 4.5 million views.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm like shook myself. I think that's like the best video.
Is that the biggest video you've had?
That's what we need to do.
That's what we
man.
need to do.
Yeah.
Bullshit.
We be bullshitting for real. We really do.
Yes, I would love that. I actually
just
do
gotta
workshops and stuff.
We need to do something. We need to get with
Come
you.
on, yeah. See,
We
come
need
on,
to
direct
figure
us.
it out
You
because-
gotta direct us.
Let's make a
we-
TikTok.
Yeah, we need
Yeah,
to make a
let's do
we
that.
need to make a TikTok before we leave.
You gotta
today.
teach us how to
Yes.
dance.
Okay.
I can't dance. I got too much shoulders.
His
But
toe hurt.
His toe hurt. He got gout.
We're gonna come back to you in a couple weeks.
We gotta do it today. We gotta do something today. We gotta do something today.
Out of us four, I'm probably the most creative. first
Okay.
off.
So,
I don't disagree with that.
All right.
I'm not disagreeing.
He was the first one. No, that's it. I tried to get them to do the tortilla thing where we
That
slap.
would be so fire.
No one wanted to do it
First
with me.
off, I was out of
Especially
town.
with
He was out of
everybody,
town.
I was
like
out of town.
all of
He
y'all's
always
personalities.
too cool to do
I
stuff.
don't know what's
No,
going
well,
on.
first
I
off,
don't know
no.
what happened.
He doesn't know anything about life right now. Like he just,
He always too
Yeah.
cool,
and he too swole.
and he just too swole.
Yeah.
Dance. Look,
You
I
do
got
dance.
the most moves out of these three right here. Like,
Yeah, I'm not a
I can
dancer.
dance
I'm
with
not a
you.
dancer.
I can get behind the. I just be too busy at these
Okay.
days.
You're
Yeah.
not too big.
So shit,
Yeah,
let me
you
break
always
it down
do
for you.
that.
He's the dancer. He's the
Okay.
creative one.
Okay.
He is
Nothing. No,
Financial
absolutely
guy,
nothing.
Poindexter.
and I think I can make the stuff look cool.
Okay.
Right? So the tortilla, does smacking come into
Yeah, you like drink
Slap
the
the shit
water
out.
and
It's
then
over with. We just gotta
Sydney,
get on that shit.
what would you recommend for us as the Pour Horsemen? What should we do
what
to
trend?
continue our growth? What would you recommend for us?
Dance to a Lizzo
You've
song?
seen our stuff. You've been seeing us. Like, should we be dancing to Lizzo right now? Also, should we be in
Beyonce
here?
is what's really trending. Like
Yeah.
just like from being here and like
No,
watching
like,
what y'all
wait,
do.
What is
He
on
Like
loves-
I do think that the tortilla challenge, it would be awesome because y'all are like very animated and like the way that y'all communicate with each other is perfect. Like I know that would be a good video. But do like some like fun like parodies to like, you know, like her new song It Girl. Like y'all could like have your mics and like strut towards the camera, and you know, people would love to do
that. I've been telling you category back. I'm Beehive.
Yes.
They act like they too cool to
No,
I just have it. Listen, whatever reason, I never joined the Beehive.
Yes. And another tip too is like put yourself in those uncomfortable positions. Like I used to be like never wanting to be in a string bikini. The minute I was in a string bikini, I booked like a huge
all right, JC, string bikini is on the way, bro.
Like, you know, like, just put yourself in those uncomfortable positions.
I ain't trying to put that shit on.
I can't put no string bikini on. You know?
But not even that. Just like
gout, though. We don't want you doing anything until that gout clears up.
I got to put on thong sandals. I'll be all right. You know what I'm saying? But the string bikini.
I'll be clutching my ass cheek the whole time wearing that cheek.
Yeah, for real. Because
let's change the subject, man.
I meant just put yourself in those weird, like.
Remember that movie Bruno? Whatever.
You a goddamn liar. You ain't gonna put me in a damn dance.
You gotta put some magic forces.
Nah, but
came in here with a bed sheet. You with that shit.
You did come in here with like pajamas, like straight up.
Look, funny thing, real quick, funny thing, right? I wore that outfit, right? The next week, my lady puts out a TLC clip and then silk
meeting in my bedroom.
You should have been in the video.
I should have been in the video.
You should have been in the video.
Thank you, man.
But it was cool.
Why am I not in Lily's closet gear right now? Like, what is going on?
You will bust out of that immediately.
They bras.
I wear a double D. What are you talking about? Put me in a double D right now. I'm trying to get this money too. I'm trying to get this money. Sydney, why are you letting them talk to me like this? Look, come on now. Come on now. All right, Sydney, we don't want to keep you too long.
Yeah.
We know that you blessed us with some time.
Sure.
Can you please give the people where they can find you, how they can get in touch with you, and if there's anyone who wants some advice or wants to DM you, where can they research you at?
Yes, y'all can follow me at Sydney L. Bell on all platforms. Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, and literally DM me any questions. I always am answering my DMs. Like, I hate those people that are like, I'm always answering my DMs. So you can DM me. I also have like one-on-one workshops called Influenced by the Influencer. If you're wanting to grow your brand, go past social media to modeling, hosting, any of those things. So yeah, just message me and I'll get to you.
And just a more personal thing for our viewers, they probably want to know, Sydney, what's your favorite scary movie?
No, they don't. They don't want to know that.
I'm so disappointed with the Stacey.
Yeah, that's Stacey. You messed that up. Yeah, you messed that up. You messed that up.
I didn't catch the movie reference.
What? He never know any movies. He grew up in the hood.
Scream.
Did you ever watch Scream?
Yeah, I seen Scream.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, okay. Yeah.
No, you don't. He does not. No, look. We're gonna take a quick break. Sydney blessed us with some time. We'll come back with a few topics.
Thank you, Sydney.
Y'all tap in with Sydney at Cindy L. Bell.
Yes.
At Sydney L. Bell.
Brother, not Cindy.
It's okay.
Sydney. I'm saying Sydney. You
said
said
Cindy.
No, I'm not. Y'all
she just said that's okay. She heard it too.
I am saying it correctly. Chill out.
Whatever you said.
Mesothelioma is what you got. Y'all tap in with her. She blessed us with some time. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
The first thing that we wanted to talk about, this is probably too toxic for the positivity that we just had on the show.
No bullshit.
But there was a guy
I feel like
who he flew a lady to his city.
Ooh.
And for whatever reason, she determined that he was not the man of the hour for him. And instead of them staying and enjoying their weekend,
brother.
Man of the hour.
Yeah, he wasn't the man of the hour. I'm trying to avoid he didn't get the knockdown.
Because you said man of the hour for him. Though.
Yeah, you said him.
For her. My bad.
Okay, go ahead. Okay.
Damn.
My bad. I'm drunk.
You're trying to be progressive. Nah, but go ahead.
Uncle Flip, the murder.
So they have a video of him in the car recording himself taking her back to the airport.
What?
No, what?
Yes. Taking her back to the airport, recording her talking
shit like, hey, get out my car.
Like, get out my car. I canceled your flight.
The room shit. Huh? I only seen the room part.
No, he drove her back to the airport and canceled the flight. Part 2.
Wow.
Is he wrong for canceling the flight?
Because
they both lose. They both corny to me.
How?
Both
of them corny.
What she do?
Nah, she ain't
What
do
she
nothing.
do? Put the camera on him.
Yeah,
Put the camera on him.
Put the camera on him.
Please explain what she do. What she do?
Whoever offered to do what, it don't matter. Like, to me, it's just like, you have to be more cognizant of what you getting yourself. If you don't even know this guy, so why would you fly?
Talking to each other.
Who says who?
Them.
They both was talking.
They've been talking for like 3 months.
But if she like didn't like, you gotta. This is what women are telling me throughout the week. If somebody offers to fly you out, like have your own money, book your own hotels and shit, like have your own way.
Oh, okay. We see what you're saying now.
I understand that part.
You saved it. You saved it. Because
No, I know what I was saying. Y'all niggas acting.
we didn't know what you were saying in the beginning, though.
Yeah,
we did not understand.
See, player goes both ways. That's the thing. Player goes both
But
ways.
he wasn't a
That's a
player.
fact.
at all.
Let me
was
go.
not either.
Let me go off what you saying now, because in part 2, she was talking about like, I do this, I got my own money, I do this and all that. And when he canceled that flight, she switched it up. Like, you canceled the flight, like I ain't bring no money, all that stuff. So I hear what you saying on that part. But the buddy is a whole sucker. Like this is some most sucker stuff that I possibly seen. That I possibly seen in this year, because like the girl, like if you fly somebody out, you playing a game of you gambling.
You are gambling.
You're gambling because they're not obligated to just give you something.
Anything.
Right. Anything. Like they're not obligated to do nothing. Now, what they were saying in context, it was kind of wild. He's saying that she was walking around naked and all that stuff.
No, in a towel. She was in a towel.
But he said the titties was out and everything. But look, no, hold on.
Straight up.
And so they ain't justifying it, but like that gives him cause to like what you teach, like what you doing, whatever.
Yeah, if you walking around with a towel.
I'm playing devil's advocate for both parties. But at the end of the day, it's gonna all come back around to this dude is being a sucker. You always keep it player. Like if it don't happen, that's fine. Send on the way.
Yeah,
the whole recording thing is
that's a whole corny thing.
But like you send on the way, if y'all it don't happen. It don't happen. And if y'all don't meant to be, it ain't meant to be. Like all this other stuff is for clout, the social media stuff. Like why do it?
Yeah, I don't understand. I don't understand, bro. So you mean to tell me that you talk to this girl in a DM or however they been communicating, and she fly out there, and because she don't want to do something with you, you want to record her
out the second day
and kick her out and all this type of shit. Like that shit's so weak to me. Like, bro, that's like she said, that's a gamble. You already gambling already. You don't know what this girl. She could come out there and be on her cycle. You get what I'm saying?
So we all in situation like we're married on the way.
Yeah.
We all been single. Have we flown anyone out before?
I'm not flying a motherfucking plane.
Hell no.
Has anyone ever flown out to see you?
I've been
nah.
To the house.
Almost one time, but nah.
I had someone fly out to see me before.
You paid for it?
Did you withhold your body from her because she flew out to see you?
No.
You're not a high value man. If you didn't withhold your body, you're not a high value man,
brother.
That's why you got gout today.
Oh my god! Nah, but like, no, I'm just saying, like, there's no obligation.
There's not.
That. Like, it seemed like being now that I'm on the other side. It seems like being single is hard as hell.
It is hard.
It seems like
it seems very hard because it's like now if I've been.
It sucks. Got the white man.
That's our producer. But now I've been in that situation where, you know, you post all the Instagrams and y'all break up and all that. But now it's like amplified even more now because it's more social media platforms. And then like even just hookups now, like you got group chats, like the girls in the group chats are discussing what's going on, like by the day, by the hour.
Yeah, that blue message ruined a lot of relationships.
Everything is out, like everything is out, and so now it ain't no like
came into play. It was done.
You can't cheat in peace.
It
now.
was done.
You can't cheat in peace. You cannot. It is impossible to cheat in peace now because of the blue messages.
That's an absolute fact, brother.
In the country, back in the day, they used to leave the house, go to work.
I
go
could
to
have
see
a whole other
family.
I could have a whole other family in the 60s. Right now,
and then go
I
back
can't
home.
do any
and
of that.
And then your wife knew what was going on.
She knew I had a son named.
And then you would take that family and join an alliance and build your farm.
She knew I had Breon Jr. in the 60s. Yes, in the 60s, Breon Jr. would have showed up at my funeral and been like, I'm also a part of your family.
Wow.
That's what would have happened. But you can't do that now.
They came in hefty. That's my daddy.
Papa.
Remember of life?
Yeah. Papa.
All right, a couple other things. Another person who didn't know how to cheat in peace.
That's funny.
Irv Gotti.
Yeah.
Told a story on Drink Champs about how much he loved Ashanti, but she clearly didn't love him back because she came to a NBA basketball game and sat on the court with Nelly.
No, nigga, that was in concert.
No, they said NBA.
Is that an NBA game?
No, but they was just in concert
But
together.
that's when he saw
yeah.
Nelly come down the aisle with his queen that he was cheating with. Because he already had a queen at the house.
Yeah.
But his queen that he was cheating with. And he got all in his feelings, and he told this story 20 years from now.
Yeah, that boy tripping.
That boy is tripping to me.
He a sucker too,
That's
man.
tripping.
I mean, how can you tell this story after 20 years?
I feel offended that we what the fuck is bro laughing? What the hell is this?
Leave him alone. Go,
leave
okay.
him alone.
Go, Phil. Go.
I forgot what the fuck I was gonna say, man.
You said you can't believe how
I'm offended because all the positivity that we just talked about with Sydney, now we talking about two suckers.
toxic ass shit.
Yeah, two suckers. But Irv Gotti, man, he tripping. He should have just let that be, man.
He should let that be.
Whatever his relationship was with Ashanti. And once again, we talk about keeping it player.
I would have never guessed that either.
I would have if Ja Rule would have said some shit like that. I'd be like, oh, that makes sense.
Yeah.
But Jermaine Dupri also got Janet Jackson, so
Hey, one could
it's
say
out there.
Jermaine, what's his name?
That was about him.
What the fuck is going on?
See, when I get strictly,
Terrence Howard playing Irv Gotti. Play, man. Come on, Ashanti, man.
Yo, hold on. I do have something to say about Terrence Howard. Why does he sound like that in every movie though?
Hey,
in
man.
every show.
Come on, Ashanti,
He
man.
sounded. That's why Marvel really kicked him out. They was like, look, we can't have this hood shit in our movies.
Come on,
That's gonna
Iron
be
Man.
me.
Iron Man.
Iron Man.
Okay. All right. Two quick things. We want Brittany Griner to come home.
Definitely, man.
I don't care who you got to trade.
They got a
Kyrie
three-way
Irving,
trade.
KD. I don't care who it is. Send them to Russia.
For
You
real.
know who they trying to trade though?
Who?
They're trying to trade this murderer that's behind.
Go ahead. Keep going.
They're trying to get this murderer that's like behind all the arms deals like for like decades. He has been behind every major arms deal in decades. Like the United States has him arrested. They want to trade her for him.
They made it seem like he was a serial killer.
No, he was an arms dealer.
They call it the something of death.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he's behind all the guns in all these wars.
Yeah.
One man.
Really like I thought he was some.
Like a killer or some type of thing.
That's Phil's
Man,
camera.
brain BG, yeah, don't mess my shit up. Keep my shit tight.
Right there, that's perfect.
For some weed.
Not even no weed. It was a vape pen.
It was a vape pen.
It was a vape pen.
Like that hoe was about this big.
So I
oil.
tell
Don't
people
play
all the
with my
time,
life
do
like
not
that.
play. If you fly to another country,
Yeah.
do not act like the American rules apply.
Yeah.
They do not apply.
What do you say about the people saying that she's been playing over there for years?
I don't care about
they
that.
just using
It's
it.
war now.
Yeah.
So she should have understood what was going on.
Here's the thing. I just had one of our we got JF volleyball. So she I ain't gonna say her name, but she came up through our ranks from Journey Fit volleyball, and she's playing overseas now in Egypt.
Y'all got a volleyball?
Yeah, we got our shit live. Like all our girls going D1, like going overseas, like they live. But one of them came by the gym this week, and she was like, yeah, But think about this. Like, she's been, like, we got contracts for volleyball, basketball, whatever, like $450K.
Oh, she's been making like $2 million a year.
I'm just saying, but that's just on the low end. Like, she was explaining it, like, and she's been there. She's been playing in Russia. She's been going over, she's been getting the money.
That don't matter when there's a war and sanctions.
Yeah, and but she's thinking like, okay, I'm gonna go through the same process, getting in the same, and then she got found with a vape pen, and now I'm held hostage. I'm the what they call it, the ploy in the mix.
She's a pawn.
Yeah, for the U.S. and Russia. So now she's the one that's got to get 9 years.
My opinion is someone on her team failed her, because they should have let her know you're not going to Russia this season. Like, there's a war about to break out. We've known about that since like December, before the war even broke out. Sure. So they should have.
Wasn't she arrested in December?
No, she was arrested in February.
Oh,
February. Like, but they should have known. Like, her team should be like, you know what? That money ain't good money right now. Stay at home. But her team failed her, and now she's over there, prisoner of war, basically at this point, and we got to trade her for an arms dealer.
And she from Houston.
Have you ever heard of a trade?
Yeah, that happens all the time.
Man, she and I are in the same class. I remember when we were sophomores, and she was dunking. No. She was on like the news. She was on Houston Chronicle, one of the news, and I was like, man, that's like, you seen that girl? She was 6'7" at the time, like dunking on everybody.
Her and Lil Tommy made the All-American game the same year.
She was gonna be the first woman in the NBA at that time when we saw that shit. I swear to God. I swear to God.
Bullshit.
Nah.
And last thing, I'm not progressive enough. And last thing, the earth is spinning faster. So since the earth is spinning faster and the world is almost over, what are you going to do in your final days? KC first. What are you going to do? You got 10 days left. Earth is spinning faster than it's supposed to. What are you going to do in your final days?
Shank the shit out of you. All this goddamn gout talk. I swear to God, people be in my comments talking about gout. It's Plex on site. I don't want to hear shit about nothing, nigga.
Send a foot to your shit.
The fact that he got all these jokes on me got me feeling defeated in itself. So yeah, that's gonna be my thing. Lord just gonna have to forgive me.
Don, what you gonna do?
Just take I'm gonna the advice that Sid just gave us, bro.
You right.
All that positivity from Sid, you doing that?
Man, just take
because you in the midst of her saying all this nice stuff, you was making all these jokes.
I'm concerned about your health.
Even respond. You're not concerned.
What you talking about? I was trying to give our audience some medical community advice. You got gout.
I do not have gout. I haven't even been to the doctor yet. Stop telling people that.
I can look at you and tell it's gout, bro. What are you talking about? Let's see your toe right now. Nah, we don't want to see your toe. No, keep that foot up. We don't want to see it.
I'm not looking,
that's
bro.
gout for real, bro. You almost out of there. Yeah, bro. You almost out of there. You do got to. You can't even bend it all the way. Nah, bro. It ain't going as far. Yeah, you got gout.
Never do that.
That's gout. All right, Phil. What you gonna do with your 10 days, bro? The earth is spinning faster. What you gonna do?
Pop his big toe.
I am thankful for every hour that
JC, what you gotta do with your 10 days?
10 days.
You got 10 days. The earth is
so it's just gonna like speed up until like,
it's gonna speed up until we all just turn into plasma. What you gonna do?
Damn.
They gonna make a fish platter.
Nigga, baby, sounds scary as hell.
It is scary.
I keep thinking about that.
What are you gonna do? The earth is spinning faster. What are you gonna do with your last 10 days on earth?
Oh
shit, I don't know.
Bro, a fish.
Go hold myself.
What the fuck is a fish platter?
You know he meal prep. Yeah, you know he
ain't gonna be able to move. We're gonna be stuck to walls.
We're gonna be stuck to walls in 10 days. I'm gonna find Pam Grier. And I'm finally gonna live out my dream.
If the earth's spinning faster, that means she's gonna be older.
That's not my fault. I'm gonna be older too.
Yeah, that's what that means.
No. That's not how it works. That's not how it works.
Does. I watched that movie.
The days have been going. This how I know the days has been going fast. I've been working out with him at 5:30 in the morning. I be done, and then I go walk 3 miles. So I be done for my day probably by like 8. I kid you not. I could be sitting at home and then get through a little bit of stuff, and time will fly by, and it's about time to get ready for bed, and 5:30 a.m. comes right back up again.
Yeah, that's because gout like really messes with your time. Like it really.
Time is going in slow motion for me.
Nigga, more though.
Slow motion for me, bro.
Really?
Yeah, it's like I'm aging backwards, bro.
Shut up.
Yeah, that's you know they used to call me Ben.
All right, man, look, that is episode 205.
He used to bend at the meat. Y'all niggas ain't gonna get no jokes off on me.
Yeah, too late. You got the jokes today.
I'm gonna clap back.
You got to say, look, episode 205. We are gonna try to make a TikTok. We are going to try to make one.
Please God help us. We're being led by Sydney.
We're being led by an influencer.
A professional.
A professional.
We ain't gonna call
Not
it
led by LP.
Not led by me. Not led by Gout.
Casey's Gout.
Moses had a better chance of leading all them people through that river than her leading.
We're gonna make it work.
She is amazing. She is gonna guide us.
Make us go popular right now on TikTok.
We're gonna get some grapes so LP can bounce him off his titties.
I can definitely bounce him off. You know, we gonna do that. You know what I'm saying? That is going to happen. So
nigga like Mr. T.
That's episode 205, man. We out.